You know my MO. I'm not waiting on anybody to come in, and you'll catch the rest of it in the recording. I just want to talk about the soul, because we have a problem with these non-indigenous people on the planet talking about they have a soul and want to argue with us about our physical and spiritual attributes, what we have compared to them. All right, we're gonna go deep into the soul, because you got to understand that the soul is passed on through the carbon or melanin female. The soul is a feminine organism that is passed on through the so-called black female. This is the only way anyone could have a soul. If you were not born from a so-called black female, then you do not have a soul. I don't care how you put it. I don't care how you word it. I don't care how you mad you get or angry you get. If you were not born from a feminine, so-called black, a feminine melanin female, you do not possess a soul. Soul, feminine force of energy that is only passed through the so-called black female. All right, the soul is extremely highly radioactive. All right, extremely highly radioactive. The soul is a force and an organism all together by itself. So I got a soul, because you don't have a soul. You were not born from a female. Our men who lay with non-indigenous women, the children who are born do not have a soul. A soul is only passed through the female. So during the time when our planet was invaded, and these men, these so-called white men, these invaders, raped our women, and they gave birth to mixed children, which they called Creole. These children came into the planet with souls, because they were born from the original female. Okay? This is science. We're talking science now. We're not talking little bit of hearsay. We're talking science. The soul can only be passed through the female. All right? So we got a lot of soulless beings running around here. That's why it's important for our men to be careful who they have. Okay, see, they trying to cut it off. They're trying to cut everything off. Driving, I can't really. Now, I was saying that the soul is a black hole. Just like Mother Cosmos, all right, and all the universes, all the galaxies have black holes. All the solar system, the universe, the galaxy, Mother Cosmos herself, which is made up of multiple universes. All right, they have black holes, bottomless pits. All right, pits. All right, and these black holes. All right. Got a lot of static in between. These black holes are extremely radioactive. Okay? Understand that the radiation in these black holes are beyond the comparison of any type of radioactive energy that is known on this planet, on a planetary basis. Okay? We, the original people, we have souls because we were born from the original woman. All right? And these souls are black holes or bottomless pits. So when we talk about we gathering energies and powers, and we talk about the crystals and minerals in us, and the crystals, minerals, and metals, they hold the energy, but as they hold the energies, we gain more energies. Those energies goes into our souls. Our souls are the holders of these forces of energy. All right, I'm back again. Having a soul from the original woman. So it's impossible for them to have a soul. A soul is a feminine force of cosmic energy that is passed on through the original female, the original woman. That's what the soul is. It's a force. It's darkness. It's pure dark energy. Like we said, it's a black hole. It's a bottomless pit designed to hold forces and energies. So these forces and energies, when we can begin to expel energies from our bodies, is coming from our souls. When we begin to pull in energies to our bodies, yes, the crystals and the minerals and the metals can only hold but so much. But what the crystals, the minerals and metals cannot contain, because they can't contain all the energy, all that the remainder of the energy moves into our soul. And this is what takes us into the higher levels. Our soul is responsible for the Kundalini energy. That's why you gotta have a what we call a soul with no baggage. All right, that's one thing we talked about. A hollow soul. A hollow soul is a soul with no baggage. All right, because we don't want to bog our souls down with emotions and different issues that are of earthly values. So this big argument about who's got a soul and we're all one people and all this is garbage. If you were not born from the original woman, if you were not born from the original woman, if you were not born from a so-called black woman, you do not possess a soul. And I don't care how you want to put it. That feminine force of energy that is with us is that soul. Even though we are men, you say, we so-called black men, we have a masculine energy, but we have that feminine force that is within us called the soul. All right? It is important to understand, overstand what the soul is all about. The soul produces melanin for our bodies. All right? The soul increases the energies when we need certain energies. I just saw a thing about this vaccination thing, and it said that melanin actually kills this thing here, the vaccine thing. So you got to understand the power of the carbon body, the melanin body. This carbon, this soul, is our protector when we're linked into ourselves. That's why it's important to be one with yourself, because you're one with your soul. Your soul is just as important as your spirit, but your soul can take you places that your spirit can't take you, because this is that bottomless pit, that dark energy, that force. that power. You know, this is highly important for us to understand, overstand. So many beings on our planet who want to be us, who want to be like us, has this idea that they are us and they're one with us, but it's not so. Okay? It's not so. Why? Because they were not born from the original woman. And I'm saying this over and over again. I'm being redundant because it's important. All right? Hey, how's it going there? How's it going, y'all? How y'all doing? All right? I'm driving and I can't read a lot of your posts there because I'm in transit right now. But I just wanted to pass that on because this is important for all of us to understand. You know, thank you. We are the original people on this planet, and each of us have souls, and our souls are forces. This is what gave us the ability to link into the demonic forces, the angelic forces. This is what gave us the ability to be what they call the Dragon Ball Z and the X-Men and the Superman and the Batman. It's the feminine energy that is within us. It's that feminine force. It's that feminine power. Okay? So it's important that we understand the functions of the soul. The soul not only protects us, the soul keeps us in connection with nature and the cosmos. So, like I said, if you were not born from a so-called black female, you do not have a soul, because she is the only gateway. She is the only gateway to having a soul. And I don't care how you put it. I don't care how you word it. I don't care how you do it. The black woman, the so-called black woman, is the only gateway to the soul. That's why we're able to dance. That's why we're so fluid. That's why we're able to do great things. That's why we're so good in the arts, and we're so good in because the feminine energy is what our enemies fear the most. It's not the color of our skin. All right? You gotta understand. They're not looking at the color of our skin. They're looking at the soul that is within us, which is that force, that energy, that power, which is an endless source of power. You deal with a bottomless pit, you deal with an endless source of power. So you gotta understand. Yeah, I know that's why they're cutting this live here. I know. But you got to understand, when you're talking about endless power, we've talked about that before. We're the only beings on the planet who has the ability to link into the forces, and we can link into powers and energies, and we were never, we're the force, we're the power behind the power. We are the everything, because the soul, like I said, like we say, it's a bottomless pit. It's a black, which means that the energies and the powers within the soul are endless. That's why it's important for us to be in a consistent state of meditation. It's important for us to be in a consistent state of discipline, so that we can remain disciplined within ourselves. It's important for us to be in a consistent state of the knowledge of self, and gaining more of the knowledge of self, because when you gain more knowledge of yourself, you become a more stronger soul. All right? That's it. That's the importance of it all. We become a stronger soul, a stronger force, a stronger energy, a stronger power. But if you were not born from a so-called black woman, you don't have a soul. That's the whole gist of it all. You do not have a soul if you're not born from the original woman. I don't care how you put it. I don't care how you see it. I don't care how you word it. I don't care how you think about it. I don't care what you think about me. We're talking about science here. This is what we're talking about. We're talking about science. Our sun has a soul. Our moon has a soul. Every planet in this universe, every planet in this galaxy, every planet in this solar system has a soul. Our planet has a soul. Why? Because they were born from a feminine source of energy. All right? They were born from a feminine power, from a feminine force. And this is what makes us who we are as the original people. Our souls. I remember watching the show V, the series V, back in the 90s. And they actually took the series off after this queen reptilian says, I want their souls. She says, that's what I want. She says, I want their souls. And it was supposed to be in the next, episode. But after that episode, when she said, I want their souls, the whole series ended. Because I was trying to figure out what was going to happen, if they were going to attack them and kill them off, but it never came back on after she said, I want their souls. All right. What you say? What about the mixed, the ones mixed with white moms? I already said that. If you were not born from the original woman, you do not carry a soul. The man, the so-called black man, does not pass on the soul. The soul is only passed on through the feminine, the mother, the female. All right. This is the science. We're talking science, and this is not to hurt feelings or anything. This is the science behind it all. If your mother is not original, if your mother is not the so-called black woman, she does not possess a soul. The soul comes only from the so-called black woman. That's where the soul comes from. Okay? Lakeley. Talk about this baby right here. Very powerful. All these crystals that I'm carrying, because they were created from a feminine source. Each one of these crystals have a soul. That's why they link to us so greatly. All right. Yeah, exactly. You know, you're right. You're right. They don't want to believe it. You know, that's the thing about it. They don't want to believe it. You know, that's when that whole lie about we are one people or we're the same people. No, we're not the same people. We're not the same people. Our original people, we're the original people. We have souls. The people who are not original to this planet do not possess the soul energy or the soul force. It is only passed through the so-called black female. This is science. Exactly. And you know what? You don't have it. That's okay. It's okay if you don't have a soul. You can still got a spirit. You know, you still walk and talk and have sex and kiss and love and have emotions and get mad, get sad, whatever else. You know, it's all right. But the key point is we are not one people. We are not the same people. When you say the Alices of darkness, which everything came from to be the life form of darkness. I mean, and exactly, you know, that's that dark energy. You know, all of us who are the so-called black people, we have that We possess that dark energy. That dark energy is the soul force. That's why I did the one video about soul force. All right, that's that feminine energy that is within us. All right, the so-called white people, what do you have? You have masculine energy in you. That's all you possess is a masculine energy. And that's that energy from your creator, which would be Zeus. And then from Zeus, which would be these draconians and reptilians or whatever else. And it's all masculine energies. Because Zeus, when he first created your forefathers, all right, for all you so-called white people, when Zeus first created your forefathers, he used about 2% of his blood. He gave about 2% of his blood, and then the rest, he used whatever he could find. And he created what you call a Frankenstein. All right? And from there, it was only masculine energy. All right? Because in order for these beings to have a soul, they would have to be created by a female. And if there was a female who took 2% of her blood, let's just say Isis, and say Isis, instead of Zeus, had created these beings, and let's say Isis created these beings, then they will all have souls, because it would have come from her blood, because the female's blood is the only blood, the so-called black female's blood is the only blood that possesses that soul force or that soul energy. Okay, so we're dealing with pure science here. But because Zeus, the original creator of these so-called white people, that the species, because he created them, okay, they were created through a masculine energy, which means the masculine energy, the man cannot pass the soul on to anyone, because it has to come from the so-called black female. All right. You say not everybody who's black possesses a soul. Well, yeah, you have those who so-called black people who are cloned. You have those who are cloned. All right. And you know if they're cloned or not. Why? Because when they look at you, they're gonna take their head from you and they can't look you in the eye because they're cloned. Like I said, cloning is something that's old and ancient. Cloning has been going on for eons all across the cosmos. All right, well, the cosmos is only there as a force of energy, as a force of life. Mother Cosmos is not one to say what this and say what that. Mother Cosmos, which is nothing but universes all together, provides life. Now, when you talk about the beings who are there to maintain balance, you're talking about the galactic forces. You're talking about the star system forces. All right. So we're talking pure science here. All right. Let's say, brother, I spoke on them. Hold on, it's moving, I'm trying to read. Being supposed black with no soul. You know, we've already talked about that. There are beings who were created, who were cloned. All right. And you will know them, because when you look them in the eye and you full of energy and power, they're going to turn their head away from you. You're going to know when they're cloned. So yes, you got lots of our people who are cloned on this planet, who were not born of the feminine genome. But for them, then that's only a few. You know, that's only probably a couple thousand of them. But when you're talking about the original people, which we are in the hundreds and hundreds of millions, we have souls, and we were born directly from a so-called black female. All right, we were born directly from the original female. So if you were born from the original female, you possess a soul. The soul is an energy. We talked about dark energy. The soul is an energy. It's a power. It allows you to tap into all of the forces known and unknown across the cosmos. And these forces are extremely powerful. All right? These forces are notable forces because they they're notable forces because they are able to be linked into at any given time. All right. So you got to understand that in order for you to be a being with a soul, you must be born of the original so-called black female. That's the only way that you're going to possess a soul. If you're not born of the original so-called black female, then you do not possess a soul. All right? The soul is made up of cosmic energy. Okay? It's made up of different cosmic elements. All right. So the same black hole that they see up in the cosmos, that they see up in the universes, and they see these black holes, that's that same black hole that is within us. All right. And the black hole is a gateway from one universe to another, which means that our souls become gateways for us to link into other universes, to link into other dimensions. That's why we can go into astral projection. Anyone who has a soul can go into astral projection. That's why it's important for us to activate the astral realm. And when you're dealing with these archons and Chitaris and they operate the astral projection. So just like the movie The Matrix, they showed you, okay, yeah, we can enter the astral realm, but we have to be linked into the computer, a computer source, which means they have to have something taken into the back of their neck. Why the back of the subconscious mind is your spiritual mind. You have a physical brain, you have a spiritual brain. So what they did in the movie The Matrix, they linked into the subconscious mind, which is the spiritual mind, which allowed them to go into the matrix through the ways of electrical or computer components. So they're letting you know, yeah, we can go to the matrix. We can go into the astral realms, but we have to be linked into the astral realms through electrical components, which means they have to use computers and they have to use different programs to go into the astral realms. And this is how they try to create chaos. But we, as the original people, because we have a soul, and our soul allows us to link into the cosmic, or what you call the universal energies, we can automatically go into the astral realms without any problem at all. You know, we have the ability to link directly into the astral realms. Like right now, we could be, some of you could be listening to this and going into the astral realm at the same time. So it's important to understand that those people who were not born of the so-called black woman do not possess a soul. We're going to put it just like that, which means that we are not the same people. This is the science behind it all. It's all science. We're not dealing with hearsay. We're not dealing with this and that. It's all science. So, there's so many what you call non-indigenous beings who are strong on wanting to be us so bad. Just like that one woman who got all those melanin injections. You can have as many melanin injections as you want to, but you're not us. You're as black as you want to get. You can inject yourself, but if you were not born of the original woman, you don't possess that soul. You don't possess that force. You don't possess that power. You don't possess that energy. You don't possess the cosmos. You don't possess the universe. You don't possess the galaxy. You don't possess the planet. You don't possess nature at all. And this is the science behind it all. So all this foolishness and all this foolery, we got to kick this. Like the one sister who on the last video, I said we're not the same people, and she says, she's Creole. All right. And like I said earlier, those people who are Creole, yes, these so-called white people forefathers raped our women, and our women had their children, and they called them Creoles. So because our women had those children and the Creole mated with each other, all right, they mated with each other, what happened? All of them have souls because they came from the original female, and they remain within each other. They remain within each other, and some of the men married the so-called black or the carbon female. The women married the carbon men, but the women had souls because their mothers were the original women. So we got to understand the science behind everything when dealing with souls comes from the original so-called black female. Our planet is feminine. Nature herself is feminine. Our universe is feminine. Our galaxy is feminine. The sun is masculine and the moon is feminine. The sun was born from the moon, which means the sun has a soul, because the moon, believe it or not, the moon creates a lot that people don't understand. You got to understand the science behind this. We're talking cosmic. They're brothers and sisters running around talking about, oh, the moon is artificial and da 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 da. No, the moon is the organism that controls our energies and our powers and our abilities. You remember the movie, so which means the moon is tied directly to our souls. Remember the movie Avatar: Last Airbender, the one with the people on it, and that captain, he says, I want the moonfish. He says, I got to go get to the moonfish because this is the only way we can stop their powers. And that one uncle, he says, well, if you destroy the moonfish, then you destroy our powers also. Because the moon provides the source of power and energy for our souls. Okay? So when he killed the moonfish, no one had any more powers because that force was destroyed. It was just allegorical or metaphoric message of saying that the moon is the provider of the strength and powers for the forces within us, which is our soul. So anyone who's spreading these lies about the moon is artificial and tell them to get the fuck out your face, because the moon is there's literally a dominant force for our souls, which the moon provides that powerful energy for this feminine force called the soul within us. This is very important for us to understand. We are dealing with powerful energies, power of this energy, and the knowledge of who we are as the original people. But the only way you can have a soul is you have to be born from the original so-called black woman, because the black woman carries the souls. And when she gives birth, she mates with a Mexican, if she mates with a Puerto Rican, if she mates with a Chinese man, if she mates with a Russian, if she mates with whoever, that child is going to have a soul, because she is the possessor of the soul. The so-called black female is the gatekeeper. That's why it's important for us to protect our women. The so-called black female is the gatekeeper. She is the one who possesses the souls. She's the one who's the only one who can literally bring a new soul onto the planet. No matter what species she mates with, she will bring a soul onto the planet, because she is the gatekeeper. She's the only one who has the ability to pass on a new soul onto the planet. It's not the men. Like I said, our men mate with these non-indigenous women. These children are born, they don't have souls. They may have a little bit of melanin because they're men. They have that masculine energy, but they do not possess a soul, because the black, so-called black female is the only woman on the planet who has the ability to create a new soul. And this is the science behind it all. All right. Say, why you want us to be less? I'm not trying to make anybody be less. I'm not trying to make anybody be less. I'm giving you science. Just the science of it all. And because we possess souls, these souls connect us with all the forces all around us. So you gotta understand the power of your soul. Understand the power of the abilities behind the forces that are within you. Understand everything that has to do with you has to do with your soul. And your soul is that force, that feminine force that was given to you by the so-called, what you want to call, black woman. All right? This message is about the soul. We had to break it all the way down so everybody could understand that our people and these non-indigenous people, these so-called white people, the Arabs, the Russians, and all these other beings, we're not the same people. All right? Because they were born of non-indigenous women who do not possess a soul. Therefore, the woman that gave birth has only got a masculine energy and not a cosmic feminine energy, even though they have feminine parts. But that's how Zeus created them. Zeus knew what he was doing. Like they said, Eve was a clone of Adam. So Adam was what you call the original white man, and it took the rib, which is short for ribonucleic acid, from Adam and created the female and gave the female a little bit of feminine energy or feminine parts, all right, in order to have a male and female. Zeus was a scientist. And he knew what he was doing. All right. So we got to understand the whole thing behind the soul. If you were not born from a so-called black female, you do not possess a soul. I'm gonna leave it on that. All right, guys. Let me go up here in this place right here because I gotta return some things from something from Amazon that I bought. I'm over here at the Whole Foods. Might be getting me some. I got to get me some more Swiss chard anyway. But I want you guys to understand this. And I'm not trying to make anybody be less. I'm not trying to make anybody feel less. I'm not trying to make anybody feel imperfect. But what I'm doing is giving you the science behind it all. And I don't care what people talk about. Oh, you know, you have a lot of people talking about, you know, you're judging because of the color of my skin. No, I'm not judging because of the color of your skin. Because there are people who what they call albinos, who are very light, almost so what you call so-called white, but they were born of the original woman. It's just that the recessive genes of the male and the recessive genes of the female became dominant in this child instead of the dominant genes. And they gave birth to what you call albinos, but the albinos have a soul because they were born directly from the original woman and the original man. But mostly because they came from that womb of the original woman, who is the gatekeeper. She's the one who possessed the soul. You gotta understand, all the science behind this is important. We're not looking at skin color, we're looking at science. All right? We're looking at the soul force, we're looking at birthrights. All right? So this is why our people must be diligent in protecting our planet, because our planet is a force and soul. And these beings want to destroy the planet. They're still trying to get to the core of the planet, because the core of the planet is where the soul possesses, is where the soul is. And this is why it's important for us to rise up above everything. And we already talked about creating the gateways and the portals and the structures, because we have to take ourselves beyond the measures of what where mankind wants us to be, so that we can take part in this thing of protecting our planet. All right? Pass that on to you guys. All right? I'm getting ready to go. And I'll catch you guys a little later. Whoever didn't catch the beginning of this right here, just you catch it in the recording. Because it's important for us to know about the soul. It's important for us to know that if you were born from a woman, you are the only one on the planet, or you are one of the only ones on the planet who possesses a soul. And if you possess a soul, then you are part of this natural order called nature. You're part of this natural order called cosmos. You have the elements in your body to pass on and to collect extremely high levels of energies and powers. All right? There's a young sister I used to work with. Her father was the so-called white. And, you know, she knows about him, but her mother was a sister. And I told her, I said, yes, you have a soul because you were born of the original woman. And she understood that. And she talked about astral projection. She talked about all the different things she does. So you got to understand, if you're not born from the original so-called black female, you don't possess a soul. All right? All right, guys. Let me go. And I'll catch you guys a little later. And as usual, all power to the multi-chakra celestial angelic beings. May chaos reign with you forever and ever and ever. And whatever questions you have, just put it in the just post it here on this recording, and I'm gonna answer as much as I can. All right. I just couldn't answer a lot of your questions because I was in transit at the time. All right. Much power to you all.